Greetings, Space Engineers, and this is Commander Chewbacca, and welcome to a whole new series with Space Engineers. As you know, Space Engineers has been taken out of early access after 5 years, and we're very excited. There's some major changes happening. This is a new series, and if you've never played Space Engineers before, or you're not familiar with any of my videos, feel free to watch this particular one. I'm going to be doing a brief video on the menu system here. So we're just going to have a quick overview of the menu system, just so you have an awareness of what's available, how everything works, and what you can do with it. So the first thing we're going to look at here is the menu system. If you've already messed with the game or played with it a little bit, you'll see this continue game. If not, we're looking at new game, load game. Obviously you have multiple save games, you can choose load game. This is just choosing the most recent one you played. Join game is for internet, options is for your game configuration, and also you can customize your character right here if you choose to before you join in. We're going to click on new game. So once we click new game, we're going to have several options here, and if you look, we have tabs available here, and we have a menu to the left here and two brief explanations on the right. First of all, if you've never done this before or you're not familiar with it because you haven't watched the stream from the developers, what we have found out is if you complete the 15 tasks in Learning to Survive, you actually unlock a Veteran Mark II suit. It's a pretty nice looking suit. There'll be a little icon on your main window when you first load in the game where the menus are, and there's also a Veteran Mark II suit that's unlocked just by finishing the 15 or so steps to Learning to Survive. If you haven't done so, I definitely recommend it. We're not going to worry about Workshop right now, but if you want to play a new game and just enjoy it, we're usually going to click Custom Game. So don't worry about scenarios, don't worry about Workshop, we're going to click Custom Game. And when you click Custom Game, it's going to give you a whole bunch of options left, a little slider, and some details on the right. Ignore this for the moment because every time we click something, this resets on the right hand side. So what we're going to do, as most people do, we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And at the very bottom is called a star system. And this star system is essentially a star system with a sun, 3 planets, and each planet has its own moon. And each planet you can go to. And then on the right hand side you can see star system, today's date and time. We're going to change that and we're going to call it tutorial episode 1. And then description, if you choose to put a description in there. At this point I'm going to leave a blank, but if you're doing a multiplayer environment you might want to put that in. Or if this is a creative one and you're like, I want to check out the way that the thrusters work, you can put in thruster test environment, something like that. Survival creative, that's pretty self-explanatory. Online mode. So at the moment this particular one is set for offline, meaning only I can play this regardless of my internet connectivity. Private means invite only. Friends, any of my friends in Steam can join without asking, they can just hear. And public, meaning anybody and everybody can join in. Autosave I definitely leave on. Mods, don't worry about that for the moment, we'll cover that in a different video. And advanced, this I would definitely recommend clicking. There's several things in here that you can do. If you just want to speed through things, my recommendation is put everything at the max. But if you want to really enjoy it like I normally do, what I do is change everything to realistic, with the exception of the inventory size. The character inventory size is not very big. So in this case, I'm going to put everything at the max. But normally what I would then do is I would then put everything apart from character size at realistic, just because it's more enjoyable there. And once you get further on, it's not so difficult. Environmental hostility. If you've never played this game, if you change it from save to normal, cataclysmic, or Armageddon, you will receive meteor showers and they will damage anything that they hit. The difference between these three is the frequency of the meteors. So I'm going to leave it on safe, there will be no meteor showers. In regards to asteroid amount, I always change it to infinite high density. You can change it to anything you want, and the better machine, the better off you're going to be. But I mean, I'm running a 7-year-old i5 system with a GTX 970, handles it just fine, and even if you're running a Core 2, you should still be okay, as long as you get DirectX 11. In regards to arcade, for sound mode, I like to put it realistic. The difference is, if you're in arcade and you're grinding in space, and someone near you is grinding, you can hit them. If you're grinding in space and they're grinding in a different area and you're not connected to the same chassis, you can't hear them in realistic mode. I'd leave these empty as they are, just leave them as the defaults, and you can change this if you want. This is really only affected to the multiplayer environment. In regards to this next step we're just scrolling down to, leave all this as standard, but I would always recommend turning off block limits. Essentially what that's saying is there is 10,000 units available, and when you hit the 10,000 you got to destroy one from somewhere else that you've created. And if you try to build a capital ship, that's definitely going to be a problem. So we're going to keep scrolling down, and then there's a couple of additional things in here you need to be aware of. First of all, cargo ships are cool. In-game scripts, you may not use that early on, but I would always recommend checking that if you can. If you want to do something like a sun tracking solar array, you will need to be able to use a script to make that work, for it to actually navigate around where it's going and track the sun for your solar panels. If you don't have this turned on, you won't be able to do that. So most of the servers have this turned off, but in regards to a single player server, or a computer game I should say, the world, have that make sure it's turned on. The next thing we're going to do is I like to enable wolves and enable spiders. Now these little critters used to be quite prolific and dangerous and would pretty much eat anything. They've not necessarily dumbed them down, but they've made it more realistic. And when I last played, I played about 2 hours or so, and I saw only 2 wolves. Before, you'd see a pack of wolves, about 6 to 8 wolves every 15-20 minutes. So they're around, they're just not as prevalent. And the other thing you can adjust here if you need to is enable progression. So the progression screen is talking about a tree, a progression skill tree. So when you build something like a landing gear, it will then unlock additional modules for you to build, like wheels and stuff. Once you've got all that checked, just click the OK button and then click start, and that's all we need to do. So I'm about to click start, and in the next episode we're going to be looking at what we need to do when you first land. So we're going to click start, and now we're starting. So this is Commander Chewbacca signing out.